cathartic. Can I invite my friend Josh Ruben down here to join me? Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you. Here, leave that there. Here, will you invite some people up?
Yes, I'd like to first invite Gwen and Marcus together.
Woo!
The best couple! My friend of many years, Milana Vayntrub, my and new best bud, Emmy Award winner, Sam Richardson! Oh my God.
I'm kidding.
Okay, we're going to share mics. We're 501c3 nonprofit. If anybody wants to buy us more mics, go ahead. I don't think they're not COVID mics. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a little conversation up here. And first of all, thank you. How fucking fun was that? Will you back up and tell us a little bit about, like, because some of you guys have seen this in a movie theater together, but not with you, right? Tell us
This is the first time we've all been together to watch this together. So this means so much, not just to do it together, but to do it here with you. So that's what made it so extra cathartic. And thank you for being such an incredible audience.
The best.
I have to say, I was like, this is the first time I've ever seen it on a big screen, and I've seen this movie so many times, guys, because I have an 11-year-old who knows every word of it. And my husband was a music supervisor, and I was like, watching the movie, and I'm like, oh, when you hear it in surround with the big screen, you're like, wow, we did a lot of work on that music, and I'm sorry, honey, that it took me 20 years and seeing a movie at Vidiots to realize what you do for a living. I love you. I want to start with, okay, so there's a video game, but I'm too middling Gen X to know about something other than like Tetris and Miss Pac-Man. So I know it's based on video game, but what you did with this, because movies are based on video games sometimes. Our writers are.
That's a mission in the audience as
Is
well.
Misha here?
Yeah, she's like,
Oh my God, damn it!
Also, cinematographer Matt Wise. And Brett Bachman, who are doing editing. Only Matt Miller and Natalie Metzger and Margaret so much freedom. That's why this is a video game movie, but they like truly left us alone. Like when I went in and pitched, I was like, my heels were up. I was like, a video game movie. And they were like, no, we want you to do your thing. And they left us all alone. It was really, really awesome. They said, like, what do you need? You need Easter eggs. Like, what do you need? And then, what do I owe you? And they just said, just make it good.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No
right?
pressure.
And it worked because this script, I interrupted you.
Yeah. No, I was also going to say they were also really great to talk to, you know,
Yes.
and to ask questions and dig deeper and, you know, be like, so this is definitely like a feminist allegory, right? Like, no, it's just a funny film.
Kind of a feminist allegory, like to kill some people.
Yeah.
And so this script, this direction, this cast, will you tell us how you got involved in this thing? And I mean, do not like ruin my idea of how fucking much fun this was to shoot. So will you tell us how much fun this was?
This is the most fun to shoot. Oftentimes.
More fun than Ted Lasso, or?
Let's find out.
But yes. Yes. And we're named for this, but but you know, a lot of times people, when you're in a cast and you do a production and you really do feel like family, and you always say like, oh, we're family. But we shot this movie in the woods of upstate New York, like it was the movie. You know what I mean? We all lived in one place. And we were just together this whole time, and it was so much fun. We just did everything together. How I got involved in the movie. One day, I decided to start acting. But I was approached about the movie. You know, the Werewolves Within, and there's a director, Josh Ruben, who wants to talk to you about it. And I read the script, and I was laughing. I was like truly intrigued. I was like, oh, I've got to be a part of this. And then I met I hadn't met. We have so many friends in common, but I'd never met him before. And talking to him about the movie, the script that I read, I was like, oh, I trust him implicitly, because like just. First off, comedically, if I can trust you comedically, then I'll trust you forever. But like his vision of what he wanted to do and his explanation of it, I was hooked and I was on board. That's how I got into it.
Did any of the rest of you guys know each other? What was it like going there for the first time and being like, we've got to live together?
We know each other.
Yeah, I knew so many of these people. Georgie and I have been friends for a long time. Sam and I knew each other from improv days. Joshy and I knew each other from college humor days.
Hell yeah. Sketches.
Internet.
Computer.
This is an improv game actually that we're doing. And so when Josh reached out, he was like, I'm doing this movie, it's called Where, and I was like, yes. I would just do anything with Josh because he's the best person. He's such a mensch and a half. And he's really funny and one of the best directors I've ever worked with.
I think Josh bringing everyone together is like how I trusted that we were all going to be nice and fun to be around each other, and to then creatively make something with just the cherry on top. But he takes such care in not only the kind of greatness that he exudes, but then the people that he wants to be around. And like you mentioned, college humor videos. We were making them shits 20 years ago. And there was that. It was like fun, and it was funny, and it was light, and it was loving. And he's always maintained that degree of how to make art, and I love it. And it shows in stuff like this. You know?
Can I say too,
Yes,
I'm gonna tell you this about my life, but I got a message from George over Instagram.
I'm not on Instagram.
This was 1,000 years
I
ago.
just-
When
I do it
never
wrong.
ever in the world, I was like, I'm bored, I'm listening to people talk, I may as well look at my Instagram and check it all the time. But I also was like, I checked message and I was like, oh my God, I'm going into the holidays, like this exciting opportunity. And then we went into it, and it sounds silly, but like, I do feel like we created this weird family bond, and it was so fun. We partied, we talked, we laughed, we had all these things happen, and then the world ended. I went home March 1st, 2020, and it was the apocalypse. And I was so fed by just moments of things, and like, I'm still hanging on to everything at the time.
I mean,
But
that
no,
movie
it's like-
really got us through. You all can hear me, I know.
Oh, you
No, I don't need it. They can hear me, down there.
And they're thanking you for it.
Yeah, you can hear me at your house. This is the movie that got my house through the pandemic. Oh, fine. This is the movie that got my house through the pandemic. I think largely because we needed a catharsis. And it truly, I mentioned it in the intro, it is really the rare horror comedy movie that's funny and scary and jumps and amazing effects and that airtight script and truly the comedic timing with all of you guys. Do you want to talk a little bit about prepping and how you nailed some of that as because you're really an ensemble cast?
Yeah,
Which
I mean,
there aren't that many
rehearsals-
horror movies that are ensemble casts.
What do you remember?
What do you remember?
What do you remember?
Tell us stories.
Yeah, like rehearsing. I haven't watched. This is the first I've never. I have to just
I know, we're a little high from this experience. Thank you all so much for being here. A little bit about the experience. Well, I think, yes, to George's point, we were immediately like, if Josh put this group together, then everyone's a cutie and a sweetie. And that was like so unique and felt. Sorry, you fall into one of two categories. And so that was immediate. And then also Josh and I like a few months prior had played Mafia together. And so remember that over Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving. And I was like, did he just want me because I'm so fucking good at that game? So I think that's how I got cast. But this, this is an indie film through and through, and a lot of how many days did we shoot? Like 24?
Well, it was supposed to be 24, and then it was like you get there, it's like, can you do it in 12? What was it? 17 or 18, and you did it, and we was under budget. Because I'm an actor sometimes, and I'm a nervous actor, and I get freaked out by the first day at school jitters. What I wanted everyone to feel like in this strange new place of Fleischmann's, New York, was let's all get all of our questions answered and feel comfortable. So we did a kind of a table read where everybody was staying, and the next night we did some rehearsals with the big cast, and we essentially said, hey, look, we have these awesome lenses. Here's the boundary where you begin to go off camera, but within. This parameter, you can kind of do whatever you want. So let's just play. And so we let you guys naturally do your thing, and so there'd be these awesome compositions. But going into it, I took the cast on a tour. Hey, Rebecca, that's where you're gonna have your meltdown. This is where the shootout's gonna be. This is where you're gonna find the body. So just trying to illuminate stuff. There's not cool people mystery. When you get there on day one, everyone's anxious. It's make everybody feel comfy.
Oh, also, speaking of us feeling comfy, your mom hosted an entire cast dinner. But delicious dinner. It was just the coziest environment from day one. Also, because you're an actor, Josh gives you notes while doing an impression of you.
If you don't follow Josh on the Instagram, you should, because this is the best impersonator I've ever.
But now you got to.
Can you do all like a director?
You could definitely do
Marcus.
You could definitely do Marcus.
No, I can't. I want to talk about the crowd. I'm Josh Ruben, but I'm here to talk about the crowd. I don't know. Whatever you can do to get it done. I don't know.
But it's true because he would do it. He could do an impression of everybody first off, but it was just him connecting with us because he would so fully see what you are bringing and what you are. The notes come because he's giving them from inside of you.
From within.
You know what? Post that on the internet.
Vidiots songs.
I have another question. That house is, when you were talking about telling people where they were going to go. What is that called?
Blocking.
Blocking. I went to acting school. Failed. When you're talking about the blocking, I'm kind of imagining in that house. We talked a little bit about how that the production design is incredible. The house is incredible. Cinematography. It's all just there. Where is he?
Matt.
Matt, where
Matt.
are you? Do any of you have like a favorite moment in the house or favorite thing?
Yes.
A favorite scene in there?
I was given a gun. I've never held, I've like seen a gun in a room with me, and I've seen them on TV, but I'm not like a wild. I like knives. I'm much better. But they were like, oh, and it was a flash thing, or whatever the technical term is, but I'm not entirely sure. But I had to fire at Matt and the camera crew, and I was like so stressed out. I know it is fake. I was shown by the armorer, and I was shown by all the, but I didn't believe. They're all lying. And I had and Matt and like I have a mic in my hand, so I can't remember anything I'm supposed to say. But like I was firing directly at these guys, and they were under a blanket just because of the flash, just in case. And I was convinced that I would just shoot them and they would burst into flames. And Lenny,
Yeah,
our
Lenny.
first AD, who's like, man, I'm just here right now. It's a point.
Do it again.
Drinks and write him. But he was looking at me and calming me down because it's so unfamiliar, and that was a moment that I felt really great and also terrified and also thankful that you chose me to do this.
What's the question?
Favorite haunted house movie?
Favorite haunted house movie? Cartoon or real?
The real
Real.
That was my next question.
You know what I liked is that last night we were all in the final scene where I got the knife hands and then I was but like we were fucking tired.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was close to like the end of filming or something. I can't remember what the occasion was, but he chose to occasion it. So I remember it was like you, Sam, myself, Harvey, and like one other person we returned as like in a bedroom sleeping on different like sides of a bed, like, just looking for whatever rest you could possibly get, and then they'd be like, okay, you're up, and you're like, now? I was gonna rest until tomorrow. But yeah, it was just so fun that you were so jazzed to get on camera and to like make your buddies laugh and just to, have a fun time getting hit by a truck.
There's so many moments like that where and like we film each other doing stuff, but then we couldn't ever post it because we're like, oh, does this give away the mystery of this mystery movie that we're filming? But my favorite things to shoot were always those things that were the whole ensemble, because you get to see everybody's different approach, and everybody is such a killer.
Pun intended.
Very much intended, because it's a movie about her. But like, I could call out anybody, and they'd be funny. Like Rebecca Henderson, so killer, so specific, and everybody was just so a superhero at what they did. So those ensemble pieces where we could all just kind of play was the best times filming for me.
I loved that this was so low budget that we didn't have dressing rooms. And so we would all hang out together between takes. And there was this one moment where we were shooting Chernus getting his hand blown off outside. And so we heard him yelling at the top of his lungs, bloody murder. And we are inside the dressing room passing around cake. Tea, everyone is like, ah! Lovely backdrop.
It was George's cake too. The video is just George going.
We almost did it, but I'm going to pivot it to, I think one of the reasons why I love the movie is because it calls out but never imitates movies that I grew up loving with ensemble casts and crazy houses and murder. Kind of fucked up, I guess. Do you all, I'm going to say it slowly so you don't get like stuck, and I'll tap dance if you need to. Do you have a favorite movie that you sort of relied on or connected back to or watched or referenced while you slowly, while you were kind of reading the script or getting ready to shoot, so that you can do it. It's a video store, we gotta do it.
Not really, no. I did and did it. No, so Josh reached out to me. Can I say this? I can probably say this.
I don't know what you're
Don't
gonna
say
say.
Find out.
He was like, the movie's like Amina.
I was CGI in this film. Josh reached out and initially was asking if I could play. He was like, "Can you cut your hair?" And I was like, "Fuck no." Now I can cut my hair, but then I couldn't. And so it was thick, too thick to cut. He wanted me to play Michaela's husband, which would have been a damn honor too. But Turnus, like being the right-wing guy, eventually did.
Not
Perfect for him.
But
Very little acting.
as I was like, I was reading the script, and the second I was like, oh, Marcus is on meth. Of course I'm going to be Marcus. I want to be Marcus. So then I think I started watching like weird, like Drugstore Cowboy, and you know, just strange.
Showing here in like a week with Gus Van Sant.
Whoa, wait.
Here, sorry, plug.
Idiots.
Sorry.
Come.
Keep going.
And I'm gonna come do a Q&A after. Like, I'm Marcus. From another movie. But I live around tweakers, so I watched them, showed up. Sam and I had never met, and Sam and I were on the same flight from LA to New York, and it was like one of the dreamers. You know, you just go to bed. It's like an overnight. What's that called?
Red eye.
It's a dreamers.
That's a much sweeter way to put it. I'm flying in tomorrow on a dreamer.
We did a quick dreamer together. And the best part is that they picked us up from the airport, and it was like a 90-hour drive to Kansas State, and we got to sit next to each other. I still love that so much because we had the choice to be like, okay, well, see you at work, and
Right.
you know, go to bed or whatever. But instead, we were like, what do you do? Where are you from? And all this bullshit. How did I get into the favorite horror movie is yeah, so I did a bunch of math and got into character.
I thought about Clue a lot. I love Clue, and like when I get upset, I think of flames at the side of my head, like to this day. And so I was like, oh, this is cool because everybody gets a bit, and everybody's funny, and it, you know, you're following the story, but every single person that you light on is great. So I thought about that a lot, and it's hard, it was really hard to follow George, so.
You know the part in the movie where Sarah has a wrench and she like flashes it at the end? That was an improv.
I have big tools in my pants.
I was just like, be normal. Just don't let anyone know that you're in a horror movie. You're not a horror movie, you're just a normal girl. You're not a werewolf. You're a werewolf. It's a rom-com as far as you're concerned.
Which is why it works, because even my most astute person in my house, the 11-year-old, who knew the ending to Field of Dreams in the opening credit sequence, she's like, your ghosts are gonna come out. She had no idea that you were the werewolf, and when it happened, you could just see this 11-year-old little girl just like locked up, like, I could fucking kill people.
Really, when I was like thinking about Finn, like sort of in the sort of like the approach to him, I was trying to envision him as being a person who was like really was trying to think of himself as an Andy Griffith. Yeah. And so he's like, oh, he's like, I'm gonna go to small town, I'll be real folksy, and it's like really nice, but like he just. What Andy Griffith does so well is that he's able to like sort of bounce off of everybody and like really handle the situations, but Finn is just overly apologetic and just every time he's overwhelmed by everything, by any sort of confrontation, by Cecily, and so that was sort of like you put Andy Griffith in Clue, but then Andy Griffith is actually maybe Barney Fife. That's what I thought.
I mean, that's what makes like heavens to old folks. So like this whole movie is like neighbors and kindness, and like Brett and I definitely tempt music from Captain America for the speech in the end. This is great. In my director deck, everyone's like, how do you do tone and how do you balance all of it? It's like you really have to. I'll get to the movie reference in a moment, but you really have to get a cast that can like never get caught trying to be funny and play terror for real, which everybody here did so beautifully. Like really play volleyball, really play scared, everybody you could go as big as you want, wrenched it big, and still, it is grounded, you still earn your like, that's fucking rad moment. And you have to create the space for that. So the Coen brothers were always genre benders. I thought Arachnophobia is like one of the best ensembles. And then it's like Rainey's A Simple Plan. It's just like that. It's like a great, just like stuff going haywire. So those references, like, I bet we can find a way to make this thing feel like those things. And the way to do that for all these future filmmakers out there is, just, you gotta get the right cast. And you gotta keep everybody honest. Like, oh, let's tone it down a little bit. Let's bring it up a little bit, play it for real. And, you kind of sit back and just kind of enjoy their work,
Okay, so here's the deal. I have one more question, and I do want to say I would love to see this cast put back together again. Territory, you can make a whole different kind of movie if you want, but I'd like to see you together again. And my last question is, The Brood, has anybody ever seen The Brood? It's going to be in here, so here's what we're going to do, because we went long, did we go too long? Is that long, okay? Great, we're perfect. So here's what we're going to do, we're going to give these guys a huge round of applause.
Leading a film, and it's my first time watching an audience watch me do that. And a couple things you missed, a couple jokes that you're giving a big laugh. Let's play it back.
Sam can jump on it. This is why we built this place, is so that you could come here trouble with my staff and the rude people who are coming in. Will you grab your things so it'll be easier for them to get in here? We'll